Yo, what is up, guys? It is your boy Blade Slayer Taylor here, and today we're not doing the day in the life of a College Esports player. Those videos are awesome. I love doing them. Love just working on it and showing you guys the day in the life of a College Esports player. But that is not what it is today. If you haven't checked those out, check those out. Those are on my YouTube channel. Lots of great content. I plan on making more. But today we're gonna just talk about what College Esports is, and it's to kind of help people understand what it is, because I know it is a little bit newer, right? Esports has grown a lot, but Collegiate Esports is still on the come up, right? So I figured I would make a video just to kind of explain it all, right? Number one, competing against other schools in video games. That's basically what College Esports is, right? You compete for your college that you go to, and you go and compete against other teams online or in person, depending on the event, and depending on the video game, right? So some of the main video games right now: Rocket League, League of Legends, Valorant, Call of Duty. I'm sure there's more to come. I think Overwatch possibly as well. And yeah, you compete against other schools, whether it be an online league, an online tournament, playoffs, championships, whatever it may be, or in person, or you play in an online league that transforms into an in-person tournament. Lots of ideas and possibilities, and it's just growing more and more. There's so many different leagues, whether it's presented through the game itself, like Rocket League has CRL. I think League of Legends has their own, fundamental, funded league that, League of Legends puts on. So that's basically what College Esports is in its simplest form, right? But there's layers to this, right? And I want to get into that. So number two, there's clubs versus varsity. Now, what I mean by that is you either have program. Well, honestly, there's a third layer where there's technically not a club or a varsity program, but those are the least likely. But basically, clubs are basically student ran, where there's really no faculty or the school's really not involved that much. It's just student ran, where the players just compete. There's not really funding, maybe not even a room provided, basically very little backing behind the school. And it's usually club programs, and some clubs are very well run, but some, obviously if you don't have backing from your school, there's not much scholarship and not much incentive. And usually these are the bigger universities, because they're more focused on their, D1 sports teams, their big university, their big campuses, and not so much focused on esports, which I believe that will change in the future. Don't get me wrong. I believe esports is the future, especially collegiate esports. Given the fact that it's not just going to be nationally, but worldwide. You can win a world championship, because collegiate esports, not just North America, right? There's Europe, and that's a big factor. So I believe clubs, there will be more and more school backing. So when I say varsity, okay, let's go into varsity now. Varsity, that's the term I'm using. Basically, when schools offer scholarships, and usually these are the smaller schools or the private schools that are able to work around it a little bit more, because they have more funding, or they're not really focused on all these like bigger projects, like big sports teams that are playing NCAA Division I. And usually they're able to either offer little to like a good amount of scholarship, or in my case, when I go to Indian River State College, they offer my team full ride, meaning full scholarship, full meal plan, so 2 meals a day, 5 days a week, and free dorm, free living, everything, free tuition, everything. It's awesome, and there's not too many schools like that. I think Maryville, Indian River State College, Northwood, those are the main schools right now. It's growing for sure. There's a lot more schools that are getting into it and willing to give full ride. Like I said, it's just going to keep expanding. So that's the difference, basically. You have schools that aren't going to offer anything. You've got schools that are going to offer some stuff. My biggest suggestion is, even if you go to a school that doesn't offer much, if you keep your grades high enough, that it just keeps adding on, right? The more you can, whether through a FAFSA, you have good grades plus esports scholarship, you can really get that number knocked down, right? And there's so many scholarships, like I said. So obviously you want to obviously be good at the game or whatnot, but you need good grades too, right? It's always going to help you, and if you do well in high school and you keep better grades, the better the grades, the more likely you will be accepted, because not only do you earn yourself a better opportunity to get better scholarships heading into an esports program, but when you play at the collegiate level, most leagues, if not all leagues, require at least a 2.0 GPA or even better. And with that in mind, these colleges aren't just going to want players that are skilled. Obviously, that's a big thing, right? You want a good team to put on, and compete with, right? But there's no point in bringing someone on that's good but cannot prove themselves academically, because then if they start failing or they get below the minimum GPA to compete in the leagues, then you can't play, right? So then it's pointless having that star player, right? So even if it's not just a scholarship factor, right? Like even if you have like a full ride lined up or whatever, having good grades to back you so that you can, have the college confident in you that you're not going to slip under that GPA, so that they can rely on you not only competing but keeping your academic integrity and keeping it in check. So grades are super important. Just gives you more opportunities, opens up more doors, and at the end of the day, I feel like that's what everyone should strive for if you are going into esports, right? College esports, like I said, is still growing, but it can definitely be the future right now. Right now, it's not necessarily the gateway to pros, but I know in some games there have been instances, I believe, in possibly other games like League of Legends that I've seen from Maryville, where a player will come into their collegiate program and they'll excel. They're on these regimens, and that's another thing. I want to get into environment in a little bit, but you give yourself the opportunity to compete at a high level, create a legacy for yourself, and build a name for yourself, whether that's content creation or just getting your name out there in the competitive scene to potentially go pro, or kind of get your foot in the door in the competitive scene outside of collegiate esports. So that's another benefit of playing collegiate esports, while having the fallback of getting a degree, right? If you get an associate's or a bachelor's, or even further than that, you are setting yourself up for ultimate success, because not only are you getting to compete doing what you love, but you are also earning a degree, right? And that's awesome, right? If you're able to do both, especially if the college is paying for some of it or all of it, right? Not to mention, let's bring up prizing, right? With a lot of these collegiate esports leagues or tournaments, you can earn scholarship or cash that you can put towards your scholarship or tuition or whatever it may be, or just earn extra money on the side if you're already on a full ride, right? There's so many opportunities to make money and pay off your college debt, or not even go into debt at all and just make extra money on top of that, right? With me, like I said, I haven't had to pay a single dime here for my dorm, my tuition. I even get meal plan, so I only have to pay for meals here and there. So the more you give yourself an opportunity, not only skill-wise, but like I said, academically, you give yourself more options to get more and more benefits. And then instead of going into debt like most college students, you can actually be making money while going to college, playing video games, which is crazy to think of, but it is the future. And then getting into environment, right? It's a whole environment. Obviously, it varies depending on which school you go to, right? But here at our school, right, we have dorms. In our esports team right now, we have 4 on the Rocket League team, 3 starters, 1 sub. We all share one dorm area. We have our own rooms, but being able to live with your teammates day in and day out really builds a connection. Obviously, when you guys are playing, being able to play with each other in person is awesome, but also just like being with them every day, going to lunch with them, doing activities with them, just spending more time building that team chemistry, building those bonds, something that you'll take with you the rest of your life, but also just strengthens your connection as a team. And it is truly like something that I think esports has not necessarily lacked, but it's something that it's starting to grow into, right? You see more and more professional teams live at team houses and live and eat, breathe, and do everything together, right? And that's kind of what college esports is, especially if you go to a school that really builds that program and that school spirit, right? Just being able to be with each other day in, day out. And on top of that, right, there's esports facilities, right? Whether you get these big state-of-the-art buildings or rooms that are specifically dedicated to esports, where they've got top-of-the-line gaming specs, monitors, gaming chairs, painted walls, vinyl decals everywhere. Some even have arenas, gaming arenas, where they have like these big screens, these stages, all this, and you get to play. Like it's unreal. So college esports, the environment's unreal. It's a crazy experience, right? And there's just so many benefits to it, right? Like I said, getting to focus on earning some money, possibly get some scholarship out of it, be able to compete, make even more money on top of tuition and stuff like that. Being able to build a legacy, have fun competing, make a name for yourself, either branding wise for content creation, or building your name within the competitive scene so that you want to go pro, or make an attempt to go pro after college or during college. the whole memories that you create, all the memories that you create here is unreal, you know. And yeah, no, it's overall it's amazing. Like I said, it's growing more and more, so there's more and more opportunities every year. So obviously everyone loves playing. If you're watching this, you probably enjoy, or you have a kid that enjoys playing games. That's great. Keep, you know, honing your skills. Just really try to get to that next level so that you can earn these opportunities. But also, like I said, very key component, keeping your grades up, trying to do the best you can in school, because that can really be the difference maker of making one of these teams or getting extra scholarships so that you can afford it, or even getting full ride. Like I said, that's becoming normal now. So at the end of the day, this whole message just kind of you know, give you guys an idea of what college esports is, but also just to kind of like say, you know, do well in school. And there's so many more opportunities coming, and it's exciting. It's exciting. Whatever game you play in esports, like I said, there's so many opportunities coming, and I strongly suggest you at least keep an eye on it. It is definitely something that you should keep an open mind to, because it opens up a lot of opportunities. And obviously, like I said, don't just choose a school for esports, but if it's a school that has your degree and it really fits what you want, like the kind of dorm lifestyle, or you know, the on-campus activities, like if it fits you and it offers those opportunities, like by all means, I would definitely recommend pursuing it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have any comments or questions, like I will always answer them, so just put them in the comment section below. I love making these types of videos, just informing and trying to help open people's eyes to just see what, you know, collegiate esports is, because it's truly an amazing thing. And like I said, I think it's the future, right? It's not just nationally, it's going to be worldwide, global. But yeah, I thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video or you learned something new, hit the like button and subscribe if you're into this content. Like I said, go check out my day in the life of a College Esports Player. I have a new video coming out very soon in January. Super excited. I think I'm gonna be collabing with someone. I don't want to say too much yet, but yeah, thank you guys for watching. This has been your boy Blade or Slayer, and I'll see you guys later.